Today is night 2 of WrestleMania 39, absolutely big night ahead of us, and today we're going to have a couple different news stories that could really change the way WrestleMania 39 night 2 is perceived by the fans. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description, but we're going to kick some things off with Stephanie McMahon. She was reportedly backstage at WWE WrestleMania despite not having an actual role within the WWE. Now, the reason why I do find this to be incredibly interesting is because just a couple weeks ago, we spoke about Stephanie McMahon possibly coming back to the WWE in the event that WWE is sold. WrestleMania 39, big media partners probably watching, probably checking it out, probably seeing what the backstage atmosphere is like. I'm sure some of these executives wearing suits have never even watched a WWE event before, so some of them could be looking at potentially buying WWE only to see that Stephanie is not involved, but then there's the rumors that they might want her involved. It's a very big deal. Now, keep in mind, Vince McMahon was also reportedly backstage at WrestleMania, but this time he was reportedly working. Looked like he was giving some direction, and he was on the headset as well. At least that's what's been reported, which, to be fair, it is his company. Whether you like it or not, he's going to. But did Vince McMahon being on the headset absolutely change anybody's public opinion of WrestleMania 39? I mean, I asked you guys in a poll, and it's a little overwhelmingly in favor of WWE having a good night of WrestleMania. So if WWE can replicate what they did for night 1 and do that with night 2, that would obviously be a big deal. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, though, is because we did get some reports of the match order for WrestleMania night 2, and we have some details. So multiple sources have come out and brought the match card rundown to public information. They made it public information, suggesting that the current lineup for WrestleMania 39 will begin with Brock Lesnar versus Omos, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and then, of course, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. The Fatal 4-Way Showcase match would be next. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre would go on third. Bianca Belair versus Asuka would go on fourth. Hell in a Cell with Edge and Finn Balor would go on fifth. And then you would have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes in the main event. Now, obviously, WWE has some impromptu stuff going on here. This will not be the final card. We saw this last night with WWE, and it looks like they're following the same strategy for tonight. We saw what happened with The Miz. We saw what happened with Pat McAfee. And we do know that WWE has plans to put Pat McAfee on the show this year. There's also rumors that Stone Cold Steve Austin could be there. There's also rumors that LA Knight could be involved. It's going to be really interesting to see what WWE does in this situation, because for them to do a surprise match out of nowhere, it actually generated a really good response. People like surprises, and WWE didn't have to sit there and tell you, hey, oh my God, guys, right after this match, there's going to be a surprise. So WWE is just kind of doing things. I think in reality, when you look at Edge versus Finn Balor, that is going to be a lengthy match at WrestleMania, which is Hell in a Cell. You're going to need something to cool it off. You can do a short match. And by the way, if you're wondering how WWE will make this all happen, Brock Lesnar and Omos is rumored to go underneath 10 minutes, which I don't think is really a shocker because everybody's kind of expecting a quick match anyways. But Omos and Lesnar is not expected to be like a 30-second squash match. In fact, it's expected to be around 5 to 8 minutes long. So clearly, with it being a shorter match, probably shorter than any other match so far in WrestleMania, this means a lot more can be done. Don't be surprised if you see 1 or 2 impromptu segments or matches being revealed, which then actually leads us to Bobby Lashley. So, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about Bobby Lashley because we know that WWE has moved the Andre the Giant Battle Royal to SoFi Stadium. Now, this would make a lot of sense because Lashley this entire time has been throwing around an open challenge. And so far, only one individual has been talking about competing against Bobby Lashley, and that was KSI, who actually challenged Bobby Lashley. So this is a very strange idea, and to be honest with you, I think this is the least likely outcome. I think Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Bray Wyatt, something will happen there at WrestleMania, maybe Uncle Howdy, but I don't see KSI getting involved with Lashley whatsoever. They did a digital exclusive. KSI obviously went through the table, and it was just a really cool moment. I said it on my live stream. I'm a longtime YouTuber. I've been doing this for like 15 years now. Like, that's not a joke. That's not an exaggeration. I'm a very long time YouTuber. I've had over 50 million different channels, dude. My come up on YouTube was a FIFA clips of the day. Like, that was like my first like legitimate channel that was like a business to me. So FIFA Clips of the Day was a FIFA channel. So I grew up watching KSI when KSI was a relatively young kid just making FIFA videos trying to blow up. So to see somebody like that and then go on to WrestleMania to be frog splashed, and by the way, him, Seth Rollins, and Logan Paul ended up having a spot that everybody is still talking about today. It just goes to show you how great WWE is. There's something for everybody. Some people didn't know KSI, but it still resulted in a really big pop, and it just goes to show you that sometimes you don't have to be a famous wrestler to create those types of moments. But I still don't think it's going to be KSI versus Lashley. You never know. Obviously, he spoke about it with Kathy Kelly. He had a very big dream match with Lashley, I guess. So to me, it's an interesting concept. I don't think that's likely. I think tonight it's going to be Bray, LA Knight, Lashley, Stone Cold, some capacity, one of those four. Not exactly sure how they're going to do it. Maybe it's different segments, but we got to see something big. And I expect WWE to do something big. So this is really exciting for me as a fan of wrestling, but as a fan of WWE WrestleMania, I just feel like the energy right now is incredible. And that actually leads us to our final topic. Well, I'm sorry, there's two more topics, excuse me. We got Charlotte Flair, who could potentially be leaving WWE for a little bit. We all saw Charlotte Flair drop the belt to Rhea Ripley, and then basically what ended up happening here is that, Dave Meltzer is coming out talking about how Flair had talked about doing a competition heading into WrestleMania. And I really hate these types of rumors and these reports, but I'm getting a lot of people asking me about Charlotte Flair leaving WWE to go do bodybuilding. And, Meltzer was talking about this. He was saying something about Charlotte Flair being down in weight and talking about her, talking about doing a bodybuilding contest. And, it was talking more about her physical appearance, and I think trying to gauge some ideas off of her physical appearance as to whether or not she's leaving. It's really hard to say. Is it true that Charlotte Flair has spoken about doing bodybuilding? Yes, it is, because she did point out with ESPN, she was trying to figure out how she can make it work while being on the road with WWE. So, in theory, is it possible that Charlotte Flair could be leaving WWE temporarily to go do that? Yeah, 100%. Plus, she's no longer champion, and that's fine. However, I have pointed it out several times. What they need to do with Charlotte Flair, and I said this on my roundtable, by the way, with JD, BC, and Jesse, the issue is not Charlotte Flair as a talent. Her and Rhea Ripley delivered a hell of a match. That's not the issue. The issue is that there is nothing of importance that Charlotte does unless she's holding the championship belt. What is the purpose of Charlotte on WWE TV? That's for them to introduce Charlotte in an interesting way, and that to me is the thing that I feel like WWE really, really has to get better at doing. So I think Charlotte's a hell of a talent, but at the same time, too, I don't think they've booked her correctly. And with our final story of the day, guys, we're talking about WrestleMania 39 and a big surprise that could be happening. The Rock posting a video on Twitter, and man, he is teasing the world of some big things. And you know what? When he says maybe he'll see the bloodline down the line in this video, the first reaction is The Rock is coming back to WWE. And I'm sorry, but The Rock owns the XFL. The Rock is in Hollywood. I don't know if The Rock legitimately gives a shit about WWE. Now, if he shows up, great, and that would be incredible. But in his video, he talks about how he's looking forward to all the matches. He spoke specifically about the main event, which is Roman Reigns and his cousin. And, he talks about how proud he is of them. But really, the point of this video is that he says, I'll see you in person. Maybe I'll see you down the road. I'll see you in person. And when I seen this video from The Rock, I think this guy is not involved with WrestleMania, but he is looking to stay attached to WWE in some capacities and showing that he's still involved with WWE at a time where WWE is the number one trend. And I hope that's not the case, but that's what it looks like to me. Because if you couldn't do the match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but then you get involved in some surprise capacity, good for you, but you could have not had to do that. You could have avoided all that and just wrestled Roman Reigns and finished the story. But now things had to obviously change, and that's what it is. So is The Rock returning at WrestleMania? Who knows? He's teasing something. Obviously, we have the rundown. It doesn't look like he's in the rundown, but clearly WWE has some surprises ahead. So we'll see what goes down. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. We just hit 53,000 subscribers. We're getting closer to 60, then 70, then 80, then 90, then 100K, baby. Once we get that plaque, it's going to be incredible, but we won't stop now. Thank you for watching.